I'm printing a gasket out of TPU using the maximum space of this printer size. It's a bit of a pissy filament to work with, and had to try a few different presets, but I'm getting apart, I think. Like, I had to stop it once because it complained, but that's just life. It's still a really kind of wild west kind of thing, but I guess every user has to go through every set of difficulties, and then you can actually be productive. So once this part comes off, I can start printing the top and bottom shells for my next speaker box test. So here's my little gasket floating by itself, and this is the back shell and the top shell. It's just a tiny little sandwich for the gasket. It's a 1.5 mm rubber gasket, or TPU as they call it, and I printed out a test of go. And laying out the parts, because it's not one continuous piece for all of the central towers, screw towers. So that's kind of that. And then I guess I've got to print out the rest of it. Welcome to V5, everybody. I really only just wanted to try different mid placements. So I've got da-da-da-da-da instead of da-da-da-da-da. And don't get me wrong, this one was really good imaging. This created a really tight kind of lens. So if you're listening to pink noise and you went 12 degrees this way and then a bit further, it'd drop out with the treble. But at this distance, this is enough for the occupant to experience the same tone. But I really wanted to break that up just for experiments. So I'm ending up with a longer single array, even though this one's a bit that way. And the reason for that is I want to try and keep a vertical placement so the stereo imaging is tighter. I could have gone like that, I guess, but then you end up with a wider vertical strip. Also, the tweeters are vertical and they're at the bottom, so if you're driving with my setup, this would be closer to your heel than your toe. This is behind the brake pedal, so brake pedal, accelerator pedal. It's very interesting. I'll get into the day-to-day logistics of that a bit later. But yeah, it doesn't interfere with the pedals, but your foot can interfere with the sound depending on whether you're braking or not. But it's neither here nor there. I was going to write V5 on here. Getting through the numbers. The other change is I printed this almost solid. So this is like 8 layers in 5mm PET G. We have just the usual kind of things to break up the standing waves, hopefully, and if it's not quite enough, I'll just stick foam on this side. So these circular tweeter cups kind of break the standing waves in this direction, and this one breaks standing waves in that direction, and maybe all these things you might get one stray one there. And one of the other changes was also adding a gasket. So I added a gasket. I haven't yet glued it. I'm going to see what ways we can get it just to hold enough so you can screw it down and then unscrew it, and hopefully you don't have to keep gluing them down. I really hoped in my mind that I could actually just print this filament onto this filament, but there was a lot of suggestions, don't do that, it's not going to work. This bit here, this is actually about a 4 to 6 mil incursion. I'm trying not to drop everything. So I took out part of the shell. Let me try and get this. Yeah, see that? So this was part of the firewall. Coming back, there was a little hump for the steering column, and so now this allows me to get the box a bit further back, another 5 mil back. It gives me the freedom to angle it however I like now. So let's go ahead and stick it on time lapse and try and glue these, drill out a few of these holes that didn't print, and just do a test fit. I mean a test screw down, and then we'll put the drivers in later. So I've tried super glue and I've tried 3D pen. So let's have a look at the super glue one. Super glue one. Just don't like super glue, really. But that one seems to have held a bit. I'm pretty sure maybe it'll firm up. It's been 5 minutes, I'm very impatient. That one I glued here and didn't glue here, so yeah, that's holding up. I should give a bit more credit. Just sometimes I've used super glue and it's just kept slopping around all day long. No, that's good. We'll go with the super glue. The 3D pen, so you don't want to add height anywhere because you're going to destroy the gasket's purpose. The 3D pen here is using a clear filament that I just had loaded. Yeah, so that is good enough as well. But you can imagine how messy it would be going all the way around there. Guess I'll do super glue. So the gasket has glued very well. It was almost drying as I was moving along, piece by piece. I sort of glued this one a bit wobbly, and now it's there forever. But it covers what it needs to cover. So now we're doing the sandwich. Oh, by the way, I'm really happy how this one came out. A lot of the prototypes I've done this and kind of never really got that sound. It hurts your knuckle kind of sound. So yeah, happy with that. Back to putting them together. I just had a few guide screws just sticking out a mil so I could line them up. Look at that. You can see the gasket joining on all the towers, going all the way around, tweeter cups, and then I'll just screw them down and see how it feels. Yeah, I might just skip that step because I don't want to screw it in and then unscrew it when I don't actually need to, but just know that it fits and lines up. It's good. What we really have to do is break the chains of this model. It's been hanging around, Model 2, and it got the seal job with hot filament 3D pen, so I'm going to have to crack that open with a screwdriver or something. Let's put the extra bolt there. So this one had a more thin sound, less layers, maybe a bit of internal fill in that first 5mm face. There's probably only 1.5 mil, and then fill for 1.5 mil, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think this carbon fibre additive really does a lot. It kind of makes it less plasticky. if you could say. That's pure PET GCF. Anyway, that's for another topic. So you might have seen me struggling there in the hyperlapse. But not bad for a single-use item. Could almost reuse it. It'll be going in the box of never-to-be-used things. And this will come out. These will come out. I was hoping for a miracle and I got one. None of these solder joints broke as I was transferring them from here to here. And now I've just got to make a hole for the wire. You know, I could design one, but what fun would that be? My tweeter sizing tolerance is a bit off, so they're not quite flush. Got to make a prettier system for that. But she's done. The wife says, 20 minutes we're going to blah blah blah. I said, alright. And then I had to do the driver swap like a madman. But because of the screws, everything was no sweat. And here it is in the testing ground of the passenger footwell that you can't see, along with beach sand, drink bottles, normal stuff.